Okay, boys and girls, I'm going to look at independent practice from page 177. Make sure that you are doing it in your notebook with me. Seems like you're kind of getting the gist. We're making a little mistake. My guess is it has to do just with keeping your numbers in the right place value when you're dividing. So we're going to do about 3 of them together, and then I'll give you one to do by yourself, and we'll go from there. So, on independent practice, you should be doing this in your notebook again. You'd write out number 5, which was $99.09 divided by 3, which they wrote it horizontally. When we go to solve with long division, we want to set it up for the standard algorithm. So, I'm going to go ahead and one thing I can think about, I'm going to grab something here, is remember when we divide, we go left to right, and I can essentially forget about all those other numbers right now. So I'm only doing small division. And so I'm going to look at the first place value and think of 9. 9 divided by 3. 3 goes into 9 3 times. The other thing I should have said was our 4 steps. We divide, we multiply, we subtract, and we drop. Those steps never stop. We continue with them. It's the same whether we're dividing decimals or if we're dividing just whole numbers. So then I divided 9 divided by 3 was 3. So 3, second step, times 3 is 9. 9 minus 9 equals 0. And then our last step is drop or done. Well, we have to look, is there another number to the right? And there is. So I'm going to drop this 9. I use my drop down arrow until I hit that equal sign that I did before. And my new number is 9. 0, 9. So I go back and I divide. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Remember, our quotient goes on top. Now 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract 9 minus 9 is 0. Drop. Now this is where it's interesting. There's my decimal. So before I can cross it, it's going to come straight up at my place value right here. Then I just pretend it wasn't there, and I go to my next place value. The 0 drops down. And this is the problem I think kids can get confused on. Because now I have 2 zeros, so my new number is 0. And 0 divided by 3 is 0, so people want to drop another number. Remember, you must divide and say what the quotient would be. 0 divided by 3 is 0. Put that in your quotient. Multiply. 0 times 3 is 0. Subtract. 0 minus 0 is 0. It's very important we do that because this is a place value holder. I look to see if I drop another number. Then 9 drops down. And I do my 4 steps again. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 9 times 3 is 9. Subtract. 9 minus 9 is 0. And drop. We don't have anything. And my remainder is 0, so I don't need to add a goose 0 or anything. I can just stop right there. My quotient is 33.03. Okay, I'm going to pause this and then I'm going to have a next question up. Okay, number 6 says 97.5 divided by 6. So I set it up to do my long division. If you need to write out those steps so you don't forget them, always do so until you really get them down. The other thing I want to point out is when I do this, I'm going to make sure I am staying in the correct place value. That when I do my first one, 9 divided by 6, which is 1, that I put the 1 directly above that number I'm at. If you guys get sloppy in your work when it's off, when you bring that decimal up, it would totally mess your problem up. So 9 divided by 6 was 1. We multiply. 1 times 6 is 6. I subtract. 9 minus 6 is 3. I can check. 3 is less than 6, so I did that right. And then I drop. So I look next door, and there's my 7. So the 7 comes down, and this is what I'm talking about. My quotient now is going to go in line with this whole work I'm showing. Everything is staying in line. 37 divided by 6 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Subtract. 37 minus 6, 1. After subtracting, I drop, and there's my decimal. So bring the decimal straight up. Then I can drop my next number. I'm going to bring it over here just a little so I can see. So it's 15. 15 divided by 6 is 2. 2 times 6 is 12. I'm going to subtract. 15 minus 12 is 3. Now when I go to drop on this one, there's no numbers to drop. So usually I'm done and we would say remainder 3. But remember, we're done using remainders for a while. We're finding answers with a decimal. And when we have a decimal, I don't do decimal and a remainder. So when I have a number left over down here, I'm going to just go ahead and where I would drop a number, let's see, this is our decimal, 10th in the 100th place, right here, I don't have anything, which means I have no hundredths, or we can just say I have 0 hundredths. And now that I have that 0 there, I can bring it down, and a new number becomes 30. 30 divided by 6 is 5. 5 times 6 is 30. Subtract. 30 minus 30 is 0. So now I have my final answer of 16.25. Remember, had I had a number left over here, I could just put another 0 in and drop it. You can continually do that till either you get to the place value you want to round to, or you find something repeating. Alright, let's pause, and I'm going to have you do one by yourself. Okay, number 7 is 71.2 divided by 8. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have you do the 4 steps, and then I'll show them. So you're going to end up pausing your video, doing your steps, hitting play, and then seeing if your steps matched with me. So let's start off with the first one. Once again, I'm using my paper just to help me. And I'm going to go ahead and follow my 4 steps for 7 divided by 8. So right now hit pause, do it in your notebook. When you get that far, where you've dropped the next number, hit play and see if we agree. Okay, so 7 divided by 8 does not work. So 7 divided by 8 is 0. 0 times 8 is 0. 7 minus 0 is 0. Oh, I'm sorry. 7 minus 0 is 7. And then when I drop my next number, I'm dropping the 1. Okay. Hopefully when you watch my work, you also are now to the point where we have the number 71. Go ahead and do the 4 steps. Do 71 divided by 8. Follow these 4 steps. When you drop your next number, go ahead and hit play and see if we agree. Go ahead and hit pause. Okay, so 71 divided by 8 is going to be 8. 8 times 8 was 64. 71 minus 64 is 7. And so I go to drop, and here's where I have my decimal. So decimal comes straight up. The 2 now drops. And I have 72. Hopefully your work matches mine. Last step, I want you to do 72 divided by 8 all by yourself. Find your final answer. When you're done, hit play, and we'll see if we agree. Alright, let's see how you did. 72 divided by 8 is 9. 9 times 8 was 72. And 72 minus 72 is 0. Our final answer should have been 8.9. Hope you guys did great. If you're still confused, come work in small group. Otherwise, why don't you continue with number 8 on independent practice and seeing how you're doing. Thank you.